A very pleasant good afternoon and welcome to APNU AFC Live this afternoon. We want to thank you very much for joining us. My name is Randolph Critchlow and we're happy that you are joining the live today for the afternoon rush. We want to say welcome to one and all those persons who are joining. Let me just see who is on the live this afternoon before we get started. We always like to send our shout outs to the people who have been faithful and been joining us every single day. We see people joining from Tampa, Florida. Thank you very much for joining us this afternoon. My name is Randolph Critchlow. Welcome to those persons internationally in the region and right here in Guyana. It has been 378 days since the March 2nd regional and general elections, and the country still does not have credible results from those elections. It has been 225 days since this fraudulent administration has been installed, and today we see continued protest around the country, and we are going to be talking about that today. Protests, and more protests around the country. The PPP, of course, the party of protest. Plenty people protesting. I'm coming to believe that the PPP stands for plenty protesting. So, guys, we are going to be talking about that and a number of other things today. We have a very packed program, but of course, we ask you that you share the live stream. Let your friends and family know that we are here. We're bringing you the credible and valid information as usual on APNU AFC Afternoon Rush. Of course, we have our Mondays. Let me just give you a reminder of what our Mondays are like. After the afternoon rush, we will be having Building Bridges with Natasha Singh Lewis coming up at 6:30, followed by In the Ring with Sherry Duncan at 8 p.m. sharp. So this is the first of our lineup for this evening, and of course it has been an eventful day. There is never a dull day in the life of this fraudulent administration, and we will continue to bring you all the information as it unfolds. Folks, I want to start with our COVID update, so we bring that to you. The COVID numbers as of the 15th of March today. Monday the 15th of March, as you can see the numbers there. If I can just bring that in for you to see properly. Compliments, of course, the Ministry of Health, and we'll come back to that. We'll come back to this idea of COVID-19 and what's happening with the vaccine a little later down in the program, because it is very, very interesting. Very interesting. We see around the world, and you know, I want to go to that before. Maybe I should deal with that before. What is happening around the world with the COVID-19 vaccine? And what is our Ministry of Health, what is our Minister of Health saying about it? What is happening with the COVID-19 vaccine around the world? And what is our minister saying about it? We're taking this from The Guardian. And as you see here, uh, you know, diminish confidence in the vaccine. We already have a situation where persons are, skeptical, so to speak, skeptical of the taking the shot. We have issues where our public is not as trusting. You have to force persons to take the filaria tablets that the ministry is distributing. That is an issue. So I can understand when you see countries not taking this particular vaccine and suspending its use, right? You know, how is it that we are going to inspire confidence in this when we see this around the world, when the Ministry of Health and Dr. Frank Anthony is silent on whether or not we are on board with it, and whether or not they have received information like these other countries would have received, and whether or not this thing is safe, right? So I am asking the question. I'm asking the question, and I'm hoping that we get some answers to this question, right? But folks, we ask you to share the live stream as we continue. We're unpacking a number of topics today. It's going to be a very interesting day. We're going to be unpacking a number of things. As right now, we're talking about the vaccine. And we want to know, of course, we always engage with you, want to know, what is your take? What is your take on this entire thing? So let us know in the comments. Let us know what is happening. How do you feel about this? Of course, we're talking to the persons here in Guyana, given the fact that this vaccine the use has been suspended in a number of countries, Germany, Italy, and France, and of course the Netherlands also taking steps to discontinue the use of this vaccine. A part of the problem, as what has been stated by a number of officials, is that the speed at which the vaccines were developed has caused many persons to have a bit of a pause. But we want to hear from the Ministry of Health. We want to hear from the Ministry of Health, and let us know, what steps are you taking to ensure confidence in this vaccine, and ensure that persons are going to be taking it and everything is safe, right? Right. There are persons in the comments saying that they're not taking. Of course, and as we discuss here, there are going to be issues in confidence in the vaccine, but we want to know from the ministry. We want an official word as to whether or not we should go ahead. But that's that, folks. As we are on the Ministry of Health, and as I started the program, I said that this government is quickly becoming known as the plenty people protesting government. Plenty people protesting government. And as we're on the Ministry of Health, let us start right there. Let us start right here. This morning, the nurses from region number 10, brought their voices, they brought their protests to Georgetown. And they stood in front. They stood in front of the one day after he was removed. So we have them now bringing their protest to Georgetown. And it is quite sad that this is where the nurses have to go. This is the length that the nurses have to go to get some respect. It is quite a sad situation, right? But again, the ministry and the Minister of Health is mum. Is silent on this issue. He has just reinstated Mr. Small despite the pleas of the nurses, despite the cries of the nurses that they will not be dealing with this disrespectful and unprofessional man. So we have the nurses protesting. So, you might think it's just the nurses protesting, but no. We are seeing all across the country, all across the land. You might think, it's only the public servants protesting. Boops! We have more protests. More protests. Right, this morning, 15th of March, 2021, a number of workers, right, prior to the commencement of work, took part in a spirited picketing exercise outside of the administration office of the Blairmont and Albion estate, calling for the Guyana Sugar Corporation, Gaisuco, to bring to an end the protracted procrastination regarding wages and salary negotiations. Sugar workers are protesting. This is the PPP. This is the PPP. Nurses are protesting. Sugar workers are protesting. Everybody protesting this wicked and fraudulent administration. Right? And you might think that these are their own people. Last week we saw the vendors from region number 6 who they're trying to displace. Darren Lal is trying to displace them. The woman said she's been selling there how many years now? How many years? Right? And they're trying to displace them. They're protesting them. The sugar workers are protesting them. Right? We see this happening. And you think it's over or it's easy? No, more protest. Last week we saw the Dorado Swim Club holding a protest outside of the National Aquatic Center, Liliendal, calling for the National COVID-19 Task Force to allow the club and the swimmers a chance to train ahead of the upcoming regional and international competitions. This is the PPP. Protest non-stop. Think about it, and I've said it over and over. And look around the country. Look around the country. See what you're seeing. More protests to come though. This is just the beginning. This is just the beginning, folks. There is more to come. Right? The nurses protesting. The vendors protesting. The sugar workers protesting. The swimmers protesting. Huh? The parliamentarians protesting. The people who they sent home from the nurses, the ambulance brigade protesting. This is the state of affairs under a PPP regime, an oppressive and dictatorship, an oppressive regime that loves this dictatorship mentality. This is the state of affairs. And if that wasn't enough, folks, this morning, if that wasn't enough, this morning we saw protests in region number 7 also. We saw protests in region number 7. And this is bigger than a lot of us will be thinking. And I don't want us to understate what happened in region 7 this morning. I do not want us to understate. I'm going to show you the video. And we're going to have an interesting time unpacking what you are seeing the beginnings of. This is the beginnings of a massive plan by the PPP to control every aspect of regional government. This is dictatorship in full bloom. The people of region number 7 from that particular CDC said that people were sent to them so that they could install a chairman of the choice, of a particular choice. We highlighted it before. This is no surprise. We highlighted it before. We said to you, what is the plan? What is Jagdeo's plan being carried out by Dharamlal? And every day you will see it happening. Dharamlal was given a mandate by Jagdeo to take control of every CDC and NDC. Despite of what the people want, we must control it. Remember, before local government elections, we had interim management committees in these places so that the PPP could control every ounce of money that goes into any community. Dharamlal's mandate, like Nandalal's mandate, is to go and reclaim land. He's a repo officer, he's a repossession officer. Dharamlal's mandate from the dictator-in-chief is to take control of these things. So we saw it in Niles Cohesion region number 2. When they sent the regional chair to oversee elections that was already had, and chairmanship and everything was already sorted out. That is what we're having in this country. Now in region number 7, we see the same thing. Or the people came out. I want to show you the video and tell me what you think, and we'll have a little discussion after.
Which was the Monday. The same evening when they went back in Africa, the don't come anymore. And from that moment, they got us pushing around. What we need, we put this government in office. We put the representatives in office. We are the people, we have the power. Right, and it's very disappointed at the ministry. They speak a lot about democracy. I can remember they called on the ABC country, the Caribbean country, they called on the European Union, they called upon the private sector, they called upon the Guyana Bar Association and all the sectors in this country that we can stand up and praise democracy. We are here today are very much disappointed. And if this government could have the chance to see this photograph. Look at my face. I'm very much disappointed in the PPP administration. Very much disappointed. Michael Singh and Molly Thomas. Michael Singh, the chairman, the assistants. Michael, the assistants, Molly Thomas. This was how the vote counted. If you can look at this here, Charlene Drapal, which was their choice, they got 35. And Michael Singh, the people choice, got 54. And then when they run for the assistant chairman, Molly Thomas got 40, and their choice got 54. And because the party did not get their choice, this is what they do. My name is Anthony Thomas. I'm sure I will never be I know what I'm standing here on behalf of our people. One of the things is because I know Amarian people don't like to talk. They would sit there, they would see something that's not fair enough, but they would step aside and just listen to it. I stand up on all of their behalf. I'm a resident of Blackburn. Very, very well. Oh, thank you.
Right. Folks, let's just unpack a bit there of what we just saw and we heard. Right? This is exactly what has been playing out throughout the regions. Region 7 now getting a taste of it. Region 7 getting a taste. of the mandate given to Darmlal. The man said that the party choice, the PPP choice, got turned to something. Their choice, the people choice, got 50 something. For the vice chair, the people's choice won too. But why are they on the road? Why are they protesting? Why are they protesting if the people chose the chairman and the vice chairman? It is because Darmlal and the PPP don't care. The PPP don't care about who you choose. That is not what they care about. Democracy doesn't matter to them. Last year March, when all of them donkeying around about democracy, they don't care about democracy. And the man said it. He said, you remember them calling on the ABC countries, the private sector, the Bar Association, everybody that they can call to stand for democracy. We ended up with a recount and they were installed based on fraudulent numbers. And immediately after going in, this is what they are doing to the people. These are the same people who would stand up in parliament and sit down and tell people about dictatorship and rigging elections and all manner of foolishness. These are the people. Look, the evidence is right there. The man is saying it. The evidence is there. He said they voted for who they wanted. But the PPP didn't want who you want. That's not how they work. Essentially, that is not how their party works. So that you can't expect them to do what you want them to do. Right? That is not how they work. This is a party that the membership don't vote for the leader or who's the presidential candidate. That's decided in some secret meeting. How you think how we think we got Irfan Ali? You think the PPP membership wanted Irfan to be president? No. That was some secret meeting, secret balloting. We don't know what happened. Some jiggly pokery. That is their idea of democracy. What we want. So you have these people in the CDCs. They have elected their chairman and their vice chair. And the PPP has decided, you know what? We don't want them two people. We don't want them. We want to put who we want there. So the people are on the street and they protested. And that is the state of affairs. From the nurses to the sugar workers to the swimmers to the vendors. To the ambulance brigade, to everybody protesting. The CDC people, the NDC people. Everybody recognizes very, very clearly what this administration, this fraudulent administration is about. Why are the people forced to come on the road if you're such a good government? If you care about democracy, and I like what the man said, listen, we vote to put y'all in power. These are you people. If you could do this to your people, what will happen? And that is where we are, guys. Right? That is where we are. What can they say? They can't say nothing because this is a clear plan. And the plan is being executed by Darmlal. It is a clear plan. Tell them I say so. Tell them I say so. We saw it in region 2. We're seeing it in region 4. We're seeing it in region 10. We're seeing it in region 7. We see them saying that, listen, We might not have local government elections. We might not have a new list. All setting the stage for them to implement these IMCs. They have implemented an IMC. That is what the people are protesting here. And I say this because I remember reminding you people that if the PPP believes that this is 1993 and that the people in Monkey Mountain and the people in Karasabai and the people in Kokwani and the people in Mabaruma, that they don't know what is happening, because the people in Region 4 know what is happening. This access to information is much easier in Region 4. But if the PPP believes that these regions, these outlying regions, don't know what is happening, then they're in for a rude awakening. Here is the key thing. This is the takeaway. David Granger and the APNU AFC gave the people their democracy. They gave power to the CDCs and the NDCs, and they enabled the RDCs to administrate the business of the region. The people had a taste of what local democracy is about. You think that they can allow Darmland and the PPP could take it away? Answer me that question. So I say this. When the people react, it will be something that you had never ever seen before. The likes of which you have never seen. Because when you try to take what is rightfully the people's, then you will have a problem. If Darmlal and the PPP believe that they can take that which was given to the people by the APNU AFC, and the people had a taste of it, then you will see more and more of what you're seeing here. Community people, simple community people, who may have even voted for the PPP, stand up and say, listen, for the last 5 years, we were able to manage our affairs. We were able to spend our money in the way that we want to. We had local democracy. You cannot come and take that from me now. You cannot take that from me. And the people will react. The people will react. And I keep saying it. Slowly but surely, the people are starting to wake up. As the PPP's plan unravels, the people are starting to wake up. After 5 years and 2 local government elections, you are going to take away that right and that freedom and that ability of the people in those communities to manage their own affairs? This is what is going to happen. This right here. People are going to protest. Mark my words. Let's get a bit more of what was said out there. We're going to pick up some of what has happened out there. Interim body must go. That's what they're shouting. This is the democracy that the PPP has brought to these people. Stifle them. We need our chairman to be sworn in.
You know.
Right, folks, this is what is happening in region number 7. This is what is happening in region number 7. And this comes on the heels, folks, of protests around the country. Comes on the heels of the nurses, it comes on the heels of the swimmers, it comes on the heels of the sugar workers, it comes on the heels of all the other people, the vendors who have protested this government in the last few days. Comes on the heels of the Henry family protesting still for justice. Think about that. This is the administration that we're saddled with. These people who sit on Channel 11, sitting on Channel 11 and DPI and pretend that they are saints. Come to tell the nation a set of hogwash. While they're doing foolishness around the country. That's where we are. That is where we are. Folks, we are living in a country with plenty people protesting. PPP. Plenty people protesting. Right? I want to switch topics now because we are going to come back to this. We are going to be joined in a few. Right. I'm reliably informed that the family members of Harish Singh protested in front of CID today. Protested in front of CID. So we have the Henry family, we have Harish Singh's family joining apparently everybody else in the country that protesting this wicked and fraudulent administration. Today, just today, whilst they were protesting CID, the nurses were at breakdown protesting the Ministry of Health. We got the sugar workers protesting Blaymont. We got the swimmers at the aquatic center protesting. Huh? At the same time, we have the CDC people in Region 7 protesting. What is happening in our country? PPP, plenty people protesting. Right? Right. Folks, we ain't got time for madness like small crowds and all that. People are expressing their discontent. And as I said to people, it's only time. It's only time because it's the same old PPP. Those folks in Region 7 just realize it. They just realize it. It's the same old PPP. It's the same old IMC. Whether they get 4 people or 400 people protesting, they have figured out that this administration is no good for them. No good. And it's only a matter of time. And I said it, especially when it concerns local democracy. If you go to some communities around this country that have benefited from NDCs functioning as they should, fixing roads, fixing bridges, fixing the drainage, fixing play fields. So the thing is that many many persons don't understand how important the NDC is and those CDCs are. And you now will go to these people and say, I will take away from you that right. I will take away your local democracy and I will put a few of my friends to manage your affairs. That is what the PPP is telling those people from every single NDC. Give me your right. Give me your right to manage your affairs in your community, and I will give you some of my friends to control the money. You think they're easy? They're easy. And the people are now realizing, and I say this again, when the people rise up, it will be like we've never seen it before in this country. Because information, people are not starved for information. They know. You think the people in Region 7 don't know it was the APNU AFC who gave them that right? It was David Grange and the APNU AFC that ensured that they had local government elections. It was the APNU AFC that said, you manage your affairs. This is what local democracy feels like, and they like it. They love it. So, good luck to Dharamlal and the PPP and Jagdeo in trying to take that away from the people now. Good luck to them. Folks, we're hoping to talk with the regional vice chair of region number 7 in a few minutes. Well, as soon as we get her on, we will be coming back to this particular topic. But I want to move on as we are rushing out of time. Remember, at 6:30 we will be having Building Bridges with Natasha Singh Lewis, MP Natasha Singh Lewis. But let us switch topics for a bit. This afternoon, and I smile as I intro this particular topic. I smile when I intro this particular topic. We're going to come back to local democracy, you know. We're going to be talking about that a little later down in the show as we get the regional vice chair of region number 7, Ms. Prasad. But let us switch topic to, you know, we saw after the elections, the elections and the fraudulent installation of the PPP government, we saw their attempt to blanket the news with only what they deem as friendly to them. We see that attempt by DPI and Channel 11 and 65 and Channel 28 and Newsroom. You know, we know them, and Guyana Times. We know these PPP aligned media houses. But this afternoon, something very interesting happened. And, you know, again, Roy B. Pat is in the center of this. Roy B. Pat comes over. I don't know the guy. Roy B. Pat comes over to me as quite an arrogant chap. The way he dealt with the mayor, spoke of contempt and disrespect. So this afternoon, this surfaced. Let me see if I can bring it up larger for you. This surfaced. An invitation by Mr. Roy, according to the Mr. Prasad, who sent out the invitation, that Mr. Roy would like to have a press conference with the media to discuss the topics below. March the 15th, 2021 at 3 p.m. at Mr. Roy's office. Right. So we saw this surface, and on the top we saw, it says, kindly be advised. Kindly be advised that this invitation excludes Gordon Mosley and News Source Guyana. I laugh, but this is not funny. the PPP, of course, are known. They are known for trying to deprive press freedom. This is propaganda 101. You don't want people who are actually reporting facts to report on you. So we saw this come out to persons in the media that this invitation excludes Gordon Mosley. This is quite strange, right? If my memory serves me correctly, it was Barjagio who banned Gordon Mosley from coming into the office of the president at one time. I think he was at Channel 7 at that point in time. This, of course, speaks to the nature of the PPP. But the president of the Guyana Press Association wasn't having it, Nazima Ragabir. Very quickly we saw this coming out of the Guyana Press Association, whose president, of course, as I said to you, is Nazima Ragabir. Very quickly, swift response. The Guyana Press Association condemns the exclusion of any media host or media worker, journalist from any event. In an email to media hosts, Giftland Group of companies indicated that news source and journalist Gordon Mosley has been excluded from a press conference today. The GPA stands by all of its media workers and recognizes entities and rejects the targeting of a media worker or media host. The exclusion is a direct attack on the media host and should be rejected outrightly by all media workers and media hosts. The GPA calls on media hosts to boycott any event in which colleagues are excluded or from which colleagues are excluded. Swift reaction. This is what we saw. And I applaud this. I applaud this from the Guyana Press Association. Because there is something to be said about press freedom in Guyana. There's something to be said about it. It is important. But we know the propaganda 101 people over at the PPP who Roy B. Pat seems to be very aligned with. You know the interesting thing about it, and then of course we had this. So after that swift response by the Guyana Press Association, we saw this email come through from Mr. Passad, from the Giftland Group, saying, regarding the recent exclusion, I would also like to sincerely apologize to Mr. Mosley and media hosts. For this matter, I meant absolutely no disrespect and assure all media personnel that it will not happen again. Oh boy, I laugh, I kid, but this is very serious. Very, very serious. Folks, you know what is even funnier? Is that Mr. Gordon Mosley said that he never attended any of Mr. Roy B. Pat's press conference. And he can't remember writing anything about Roy B. Pat. Outside of the fact that the COVID-19 task force clamped down on one of the entities there. So that makes it even funny that Gordon doesn't even know why he's being excluded. So, there you go, folks. Press freedom under attack in Guyana. Freedom of the press under attack. And not under attack by any particular party, you know, by a business owner. Oh, Mr. Bipat, you continue to serve up these gems. As we get a bit of rain in Georgetown right now, I want to quickly go to one other thing. Alright? I call this segment, this is a segment I call What in the World. Let me just bring this up for you. And as we consider what I'm about to show you guys, this is a segment called What in the World? Folks, we are living in a country where in the supermarket you are paying almost $1,700 for one bell pepper. Might seem like a laughing matter. It might seem like a laughing matter, but this is the country we're living in. One single bell sweet pepper is equivalent to $8.50 US. This is where we live. What in the world is happening in Guyana? On tomorrow's show, I am going to be inviting former Minister of Finance, Mr. Jordan, to talk about this sudden and exorbitant skyrocketing of prices on our market. You are not seeing incorrectly there, folks. What is on the screen is not a mistake. $16.91 and $13.71. Those are the prices on one pepper. There's not a mistake you're seeing there. These are prices taken today. These pictures that you are seeing were taken today at the supermarket. What is happening to our country? Why are these prices suddenly skyrocketing? There must be some reason. What is the economic phenomenon that is happening? And tomorrow we'll have an in-depth discussion with former Minister of Finance. And so we can unpack what exactly is happening on our markets. Again, what you're seeing on the screen is not a mistake. $1,700 for one sweet pepper. That is what you're seeing. No mistake, no typo. That was taken today. That's a picture from today. This is no gimmick. I ask the question again, what in the world is happening? What in the world is happening? And why is it that we are seeing this sudden spike in prices? Hopefully we can get some answers to that a little later down on tomorrow's program when we speak to former Minister of Finance. But folks, this is very concerning, and I'm raising it now, and hopefully we can dig into some of the economic things happening in our country that would see these prices increase. I think I know a part of it, but I'm not going to delve into it because I'm no economist. I'm no economic guru. I'm not going to venture into that. And we're going to be having an interesting economic discussion tomorrow. So ensure you tune in for that program. But this is the concerning thing that we see. Questions need to be asked. You know, when we see things like this, and then we see the fraudulent administration stand up in a budget debate and say they take off $200 from your electricity tariff, or $100, whatever it be. We see gas prices going up. Twice this week, gas prices went up. And you hear we take off VAT off of building materials. Well, the people who buying the small, the 1 and 2 building materials say they really don't see any difference. Who is benefiting from those VAT exempted building materials? The big businessmen who bringing them in. Because the price reduction is meeting to the customers. But Guyanese paying $1,700 for one bell pepper in the market. In the supermarket, sorry. Not the market, this is supermarket price. But it is reflective of what is happening in our country right now. It's symbolic and it's reflective. Folks, we have time for one more thing. We are going to, I said that we wanted to speak with Regional Vice Chair, Region number 7, concerning those persons from the CDCs who were protesting today. But she is having some internet problems, so we have time today for one more thing. And amidst all of the craziness that has been happening, the constant and prolonged and ubiquitous protests happening around the country, every single body is protesting. I tell you, everybody and the grandmother protested. But as I said, before we go to that one more thing, let me just say that, mark my words, I've said to you that this issue with local democracy will be the undoing of the PPP. I will say it again. If the PPP believes that they can take local democracy from the people, that local democracy that they enjoyed for 5 years under the APNU AFC, they have another thing coming. Region 7 is just the beginning, because they are going to try it in every region. But to say to the people, let me take your power away and give it to my few friends who will sit on these IMCs, the people will react. Mark my words. Folks, as I said, we have time for one more thing. And amidst all of what the PPP has been doing and the craziness in Guyana, we are going to be looking at one more thing today, which is on a little lighter note, on a little more cheerful note. One more thing. Right, we are ready for one more thing today. And today it brings me great joy to bring you the one more thing. And it has to do, of course, with the world of entertainment. 2 Grammys for St. John. For those young persons who are watching the show, and even the older ones who are a bit in tune with what is happening in the world of music, of course, last night we had the Grammy Awards, and Guyanese American rapper St. John, born to Guyanese parents, picked up not 1, but 2 wins at the 63rd Annual Grammy Awards last night. Of course, he picked up those 2 for Roses, that remix, and he claimed a Best Remix Recording, while his Beyonce and Wiz Khalifa and Blue Ivy Carter collaboration, Brown Skin Girl, for Lion King, right? The gift secured the Best Music Video. Lots and lots of congratulations, of course, to St. John. Recently returned to Guyana. Of course, persons may remember when he was in Georgetown, Guyana. Of course, did a part of a video that he has as part of this video on YouTube right here in Georgetown. Guyanese American rapper St. John taking home 2 Grammy Awards. For those persons who are into music like myself, this is a big thing. This is a big deal. This is quite exciting. And we want to say congratulations for all of us here at APNU AFC TV. Wonderful, wonderful congratulations to you, sir. Continue doing the good work. continue making us proud right here in Guyana as you continue to go around the world and do big things. So folks, that was one more thing. Ending on a bit of a nice note tonight. Congratulations to St. John picking up 2 Grammy Awards last night. Alright, so we are going to be moving now. Folks, that brings us to the end of the show. We want to say thank you very much for joining us. My name is Randolph Critchlow. As usual, I always remind you, let's continue to work together for national development. Do stay safe. Remember, we're still in the throes of COVID-19. Ensure you keep yourself and your family safe. Please stay tuned for Building Bridges with Natasha Singh, MP Natasha Singh Lewis. And at 8 p.m., we are going to be in the ring with Sher Duncan. Do enjoy the rest of your evening and stay safe.